So, the time has come, it has arrived. Sooner than I thought it would. In fact, I was arrogant enough to think I would not be around for it anymore, but the time has come when darkness and fear has descended, and this is now the time for us to move into higher states of consciousness or get swept up and become part of the darkness and the ignorance. So, how do we do this? How do we evolve our consciousness into higher states of being? Well, for one thing, be the lighthouse. Be the lighthouse that I just showed you. This time has come for you to ignite your own light. The time has come for you to rise up and claim your own space here on earth, to enter the space that you came here on earth to enter, and to be the light bearer that you are. Because every one of us is a light bearer in some form or other. Some of us have taken up the call and have already been doing it for quite a while. Some of us have been shining our lights to the point where we no longer wonder why we're here on earth. So either you're a lighthouse that shines its light brightly upwards, or right now you'll become part of the darkness and take away from all the other light bearers. But do you really want to take away from them? Step out of the fear. Step out of the fear of not knowing who you are. Step out of the fear of not being good enough. Step out of the fear of feeling unworthy. You would not be here otherwise. The universe does not make mistakes. You are so needed right now. So I'm here to invite you, when you let go of fear and the need to control, you'll experience how mysterious, sacred, and interesting life can be. And this is from Melody Beatty, who I used to study a lot when I lived in New York. She was my lighthouse and my guiding star when I lived in New York City. And I wanted to share this with you from her today because I think it's just so important. And I think it's something that we all need to be thinking of right now. So really let this sink into you. Read what I have on the screen here. See how it resonates with you. And then start examining how you can enter into the world of the mysterious, into the world of compassion and love and truth and beauty, where you belong. And that is the truth. So I'm going to be putting up some quotes on the screen. Some are they're all from Sufism, from the Sufi Masters, especially the ones that have affected me the most and have really guided me the most. Their work has guided me. I've never, ever read anything by Sufi Master that did not resonate with me on such a deep level that it did not open me up to more and more and more. And so that's why I'm sharing this with you today. So here's the first one. Look down at the screen below here, and there's one by Rumi that says, "This longing you express is the return message. The grief you cry out from draws you toward union. Your pure sadness that wants help is the sweet cup." So you might think that you're living in a world of despair. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. Your energies are really depleted, and you feel that in this moment you really are not capable of living up to you're being called on to do. Yes, you are. Now, there are things you might have to do to raise to this higher level of consciousness. In fact, all of us do. There's not one of us who right now does not need to raise our energies up in our state of consciousness in ways that have never been called upon us to do before, except maybe if you lived in Rwanda at the time of what is called the most horrendous genocide there, unless you lived in Europe at the time of Nazism. You know, if we ever had an opportunity to undo any harm we've ever done on earth, this is the time to do so right now. Meaning, if you've ever purposely harmed an animal because you thought you had to do it in order to eat and survive, this is the time to undo it. So Means you might have to consider going plant-based so that you're not ingesting all of that turmoil and all of that agony that the animal goes through, all of the fear that's in the animal. That's what you're eating. You're eating agony and fear and turmoil. And that's why you're feeling that right now. You might have to give that up to raise yourself into a place where serenity rules. You need to start eating serenity foods, serenity-laden foods. That's why my company was called Serenity Foods. So you might have to start hydrating yourself more. You might have to stop drinking with your meals. You might have to start working with somebody like me who's a detox specialist, or somebody who teaches how to meditation or life skills. You might have to call on yourself to do this because you don't have the money to work with somebody like me or anybody else. You might have to call on yourself to read some more. Look at one of my other videos here where I suggested some readings for you. I'm going to now do a quote by Hafiz. Let's let loose with compassion. Let's drown in the deliciousness of love, because that's what I'm inviting you to do today. I think when you let loose with compassion, when you really allow yourself to flow from the river of love, you're no longer scared anymore. You're no longer afraid, because this is just the beginning of what we are going to be experiencing. So when these forces of darkness come forth, all it is an invitation to us, to the rest of us, to light ourselves up from within and pull it out so that it will shine. And it will be there for every single person who needs the light. Shine in such a way that you light up the clouds, that your light comes through all the darkness and all the clouds. This is what's being called on all of us right now. If you are in a place of darkness and you do not see this and you do not understand this, you can step out of it. It's easy. You just need to change your diet. You need to stop eating anything that aggravates terror, anxiety, and darkness in your life. So you do have to, yes, to get away from anything that comes from a slaughterhouse or that's been processed. Anything that's corporate bound, because they're the ones who are actually bringing on the darkness, or at least supporting it. So you need to step into the plant kingdom where there's so much light and where the forces of light are at their strongest. And if you're already in the plant kingdom and you're still feeling this and you want to raise your consciousness, then you're going to have to leave behind certain ways of eating. For example, processed anything. No matter how addicted you are to them, how much you love them, you're going to need to move away from them. What do I mean from that? You need to start eating foods in their raw, unadulterated, and living state, where the energies are higher, which will pull you up on a cellular level to meet the challenges with which we've all been handed right now, to see if we can raise ourselves up. You can do this. I know you can. You might need help, and I'm here to help you, and there are a lot of other people who are here to help you. So please call upon us, whether by just watching the shows like this on a daily basis, because I'm now doing this 5 days a week because I realize the need is there. Other people are doing it too. I'm not the only one. Go to wherever you feel most drawn to. And you might be one of those whose light is shining so brightly that you think you can't shine anymore. You might be surprised. If you're already eating raw food diet, but you're eating mainly from recipes and desserts, you might need to raise your own energies up higher and just go to and do maybe just a juice cleanse, do some juice feasting. That will raise your energies up even higher. The more hydrated you are, the lighter the food. We need to bring light into our lives. And I don't just mean light like this, although yes, I mean that too. But I'm talking about bringing light into our lives in such a way that everything we eat, everything we drink, there'll be a lightness in our bodies, that we can feel the light, our bodies shift into a lighter place of being into the world. There was once a Swedish movie when I was a child. It was called The Lightness, I think it was called The Lightness of Being. I was so attracted to it, was the name. because the idea of the lightness of being was so enthralling to me and so attractive to me, because I realized that that was where we needed to be. So here's Hafiz again. Let loose with compassion. Let's drown in the delicious ambiance of love. This is what I am inviting you to do here today. This is what I'm asking you to consider doing for yourselves. If you're already eating raw or you're already on a juice feast, maybe you need to raise up to the next higher level of vibration of consciousness, which is to just eat fruits only. If you've been eating fruits for a while and you think you can't go further, there's always further to go. Maybe it's time to start water fasting. So we need to move up to the lightest levels of being that we can, because right now everything is really dense. We're already on a dense plane. We're on a dense platform, and it's gotten denser because the fog is now rushing in and the darkness is now coming in. So we need to light up our bodies from a cellular level. We need cellular detoxification and cellular rejuvenation in order to light up our beings and make our bodies lighter, make ourselves lighter. You cannot in any way or shape or form respond from the place of the mind, because it's the mind that created this. And that's why we need to transcend through our bodies, through eating lighter things or even just going on a fast and getting even lighter, and go to the place where our entire being begins to emit only light in the darkness. All fear is removed, and all we know is the presence of love and healing. So here is Rumi again, and he is asking us to run from what's comfortable. Forget safety. This is not the time for safety. Live where you fear to live. You're being called on now to do this. Destroy your reputation in the process. Be notorious for having responded in a way with love and having your light shine at levels you've never thought possible before. Rumi said, I have tried prudent planning long enough. From now on, I'll be mad. So join us, won't you? Absolutely join us. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel below. You can also please click the notification button so that you can get more of this. You might also want to sign up for, if you look at the bottom of the ticker below, for my detox classes on my website, so that you can start your detox now, even if it's just for 2 days a week. If you say, I cannot be detoxing right now, well, I have this raw for 2 that will really make it easy for you, and it's delicious and nutritious. But do something to lighten your being. Do not get pulled into the darkness. Do not get pulled into despair. Sleep more. This is the time for self-care. Eat less. Think less. Yes, think less. Laugh more. Hug more. Be more. So, rise up and claim your birthright. Thank you for being here today, and see you for more on this same channel, same time.